Hi to Chairman Lito Villanueva, Board of Trustees, officers, and members of the FinTech Alliance Philippines. Good morning, and thank you for the opportunity to deliver the keynote address at your second general membership meeting. This is indeed an important event. I hope the outcomes of your discussions will set you on an even firmer path towards empowering Filipinos, especially the unserved and underserved, through innovation. These are times of crisis, as the COVID-19 pandemic continues to persist, but these are also times of immense opportunity. Despite the pandemic's adverse impact, our macroeconomic fundamentals remain firm and have given us the power to flex our fiscal and monetary policies. With the whole of government approach, we were able to enact bold and swift measures at the onset of the pandemic. For the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas, these measures involved the implementation of substantial monetary policy adjustments, fiscal aid, and financial sector interventions. These measures were also multi-sectoral, with the well-being of our micro, small, and medium enterprises, as well as our most vulnerable and underserved sectors, being top priority for economic relief and protection. At this point, we are starting to see green shoots and other signs of growth. We must seize the prospects that lie ahead and push forward. One key prospect is reinvigorating financial inclusion and digital transformation in the country. Indeed, the pandemic has highlighted the need for financial inclusion and digitalization in the post-COVID economy. While BSP's digitalization agenda started even before the pandemic, digital financial inclusion is now an utmost priority. We have drawn up the Digital Payments Transformation Roadmap precisely to achieve our financial inclusion and digitalization agenda. We are well aware how fintechs have been blazing the innovation trail. We also have seen the fintech community step up admirably with efforts to ensure unhampered delivery of financial services to the public. Your contributions do not go unnoticed, and we are working to put you on an even footing with traditional players in the industry. Now allow me to talk about the opportunities ahead. With the National ID, or PhilSys, a critical digital finance infrastructure component in place, service providers can reduce onboarding costs and deliver innovative products by leveraging its technological advantages to reach untapped markets. Through the intensified PhilSys rollout by the Philippine Statistics Authority, over 25 million Filipinos have completed demographic and biometric data registration as of August 13, 2021. The co-location scheme implemented with the Land Bank of the Philippines has contributed greatly to our financial inclusion efforts, which has so far resulted in approximately 4.4 million unbanked PhilSys registrants opening transaction accounts. More activities are underway, with a pilot launch of the PhilSys online authentication and eKYC slated toward the end of this year. The phased onboarding of private sector relying parties is also slated for next year. We are seeing a great spike in digital transactions throughout this pandemic. As of end June 2021, InstaPay transaction volume and value rose respectively by 202% and 213% relative to the same period in 2020. PesoNet transaction volume and value also grew by 64% and 51% respectively as of end June 2021. Meanwhile, the percentage of internet users transacting online reached 80%, showing a big shift to e-commerce. Thus, we continue to expand payment rails and create use cases, which range from government payments to eGov.ph, disbursements of assistance and wages, to enhance participation in the digital finance ecosystem. Following the implementation of QRPH, person-to-person payments, in November 2019, the QRPH person-to-merchant payments pilot was launched last April and will go on stream next month. This improved interoperability means more convenience for consumers. More importantly, the P2M scheme will allow small businesses and low-income earners to digitalize and enhance their revenue streams and competitiveness at reduced cost. Further on our digitalization agenda, we recently issued policies on digital banking and open finance. With digital banks, we envision better delivery of financial services without the constraints of brick and mortar operations. The policy has generated great interest, with the BSP having already approved 5 applicants to establish digital banks. Open finance, meanwhile, will enable various players to provide more contextualized services for a broader client base. It will promote greater interoperability and collaboration among financial institutions and fintechs. We are currently in the process of forming the Open Finance Oversight Committee, which will establish rules for participation and standard setting, among other priorities. The fintech industry's representation will be particularly crucial in this committee and help us close critical market and connectivity gaps. Digitalization has also led to new challenges and exigencies. Thus, we continue to revisit, recalibrate, and fortify existing policies. We have ongoing policy initiatives on the amendments to the e-money and technology outsourcing circulars, establishment of the cybersecurity maturity model, and formalization of BSP's test and learn approach for the regulatory sandbox. We're also in the midst of transitioning to a new supervisory rating framework, which hinges on stronger off-site supervision. All of this aim to support the digital transformation initiatives of BSP supervised financial institutions, including fintech players, while promoting sound risk technology and cyber risk management. With all these developments being fast-tracked and more underway, digital solutions will be in greater demand than ever. The conditions are ripe, and so the time to act is now. Fintechs can serve as vital intermediaries for government and industry, as well as for clients newly integrated into the digital finance ecosystem. They will need platforms and services to facilitate their digitalization. We believe you to be capable of being solutions providers and creating great, meaningful impact, especially in the last mile. And so, strike while the iron is hot. Explore emerging opportunities. Tap into your innovation DNA to create worthwhile solutions. Champion consumer protection and welfare, because indeed, you can do well by doing good. Fully embrace the mission of financial inclusion and leave no Filipino behind. With the fintech community, we know we can achieve our targets and set aspirations for post-pandemic inclusive prosperity further and higher. With that, my congratulations to the newly sworn-in officers of the FinTech Alliance. May you lead the fintech community to great heights as partners for responsible innovation and greater inclusion. Thank you, and may you all stay safe and healthy.